can't I just go live? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh yeah, just moving, I'm walking. Thank you for oh my God. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. Great rising, y'all, great rising. Oh. I was trying to get on FB, they talking about. Thank you for the company. They talking about invite a friend, invite a friend. I'm like, listen, I'm just trying to go on and do my thing. I'm an old lady walking on the treadmill. Trust me, ain't nobody kicking down the door to talk to me while I do this. Very few like to acknowledge that they even watch or listen. So I ain't gonna start no crap. I say comment, like, share. That's all I can do. Let's start this walk. You know how when you get thrown off your game? I don't have 5,000 friends Facebook. In real life, I maybe got one. In real life, I maybe got one. I know I'm my bestest friend, so I got me. So, okay, outside would be 2. So I got 1, me, and then outside this could quite possibly maybe be someone else. But I know I'll go to the wire, to the limit, to the wall for me. I can't say outside of me who gonna do that. Dang, Facebook. And I'm not lonely. And I got subscribers on YouTube. It's more than I ever expected. I think it's 92. Never expected. So I appreciate the subscribers. Never thought I would have 92 people supporting me doing this walk. Just never dawned on me. I mean, I'm going to look at it when I ain't doing it no more to encourage me to walk. That's why I ain't messing around with these people getting my page taken down. I need this for when I get old and I can just have somebody say, we're on YouTube. Vicki Camacho, YouTube. And then hopefully some nice attendant clerk will pull up my YouTube and I'll be walking and talking. And then, in a way, I'll be talking to myself, but I can exercise and talk, and I can listen. Maybe I don't want to talk. Maybe I just want to sit in the chair and like kick my feet or whatever while I look at me and listen to me. I know y'all said, what a goal. What is the goal for me? Yes. I was thinking this morning, because this morning was my mat morning. So that, mat mornings are the most painful mornings. Because I stretch these limbs out on the floor. I bend the knees and roll the hips and, okay, that's what I say all through the stretch. No one hears me because it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, no one hears me. And then when I stretch, and I try to keep myself stretched, and I can feel it, I'm like, ow. Sometimes I just do, especially when I'm bending my knees and stuff, I just say, oh. And then, that's the first go round. By the time the second go round comes, pain free. It's just that initial stretch. The initial stretch that gets you. Whew. So every other day, well, basically, okay, let me see how. I do my mat every morning. Believe it or not, it's a way of stretching out my toes. Different poses I do that helps me stretch my toes. And I do my little knees and hip, loosen everything up. And that's like maybe like 5 minutes tops, and I'm done. And then I go on the bike for like 10 minutes. I'm biking. Then the next day, I do the mat for 10 minutes. I mean, I'm pulling, you wouldn't want a camera in there. I'm trying to think of how to show y'all, but I would have to mute everything. Because you say, oh, I don't want to hear this in the morning. Oh my God, why is that woman pulling her leg like that? Oh my God, why is she making herself go into so much pain? So, I don't share that with y'all. That's personal. But I feel so much better afterwards. You know? I mean, let me tell you why I'm so glad this last leg of this experience called life, that it took me years. I was trying to shake free for years. It's hard to get the coats out of you. It's inside you. You got to get it out. And it made me think of a story, Margelle. Wonderful woman. She's from the South, too. Oh my gosh, I was in my 40s. Margelle was already in her 60s. Working 2 jobs, overnight in a nursing home, and in the daytime, taking care of the mentally challenged. She was a huge woman. She always got her hair done, her nails looked nice. Had a nice car. And she talked about, because she had 2 minds too. She had a cult mind and an African American woman's mind. So, in the African American woman's mind, we used to talk, Margelle and I, we would talk about what she would like to do. She wanted to be a truck driver, a long haul driver. She had, 16 grandkids, so she was going to be, her handle was going to be Grandma 16. And that was the African American side. She talked about racism and how hard it is to work, how she had to save, but then you ask her what she's saving for. She lived in the basement of this house in the Bronx. She doesn't live there. Her stuff is there. She can work up to 7 days a week on an overnight. And then 5 days a week. 5 days a week at the group home. Right now. Yeah. She worked overnights, 7 days a week. She worked 5 days a week doing vocational transportation with the mentally challenged. And then she worked on the weekends at a group home. She did the cooking. She was a chef. 3 jobs. She was in her 60s. She couldn't move fast. She was exhausted. She was large. She had a pocketbook full of pills. I mean, because when she baked, which is what she did, sweet stuff for us, she'd bring in a cake, and we would know that for the next 3 days on the shift, if we ate the cake, she gonna be sleeping. And how can we wake her up after she made a cake for us to eat? See how that worked? If she came in and said, I have something special for you, and you're working with her, then you knew, you took it, that week, you would be doing all the driving because she'd be sleeping. But one thing Margelle did, she often talked about her funeral. That's why she was working 3 jobs. That's the cult side of her. To my knowledge, didn't travel, raised her kids. She had a sister who lived in Mount Vernon. When I went back years later, the sister's house was in foreclosure. They were like the up and uppies in Mount Vernon. But we clearly see how that died out. And when you don't pass the baton, how that works out. So, she wanted a horse-drawn carriage. She wanted a band. She wanted all that stuff. And I said, Margelle, that is so much money. She said, why do you think I'm working 3 jobs? So she didn't take care of her body. She took care of her funeral. And that's a cult mentality. You don't take care of your body. As I was taught in my cult, don't let the left hand see what the right hand is doing. Don't trust the right hand. Something with the left hand. Oh, if your eye offended, pluck it out. Oh yes, this Jesus was a doctor healer. So, don't worry, he'll take care of it. I'm just telling you, that's the cult. So she sat there and popped all her pills and ate all her junk food and slept and got bigger and bigger. I left the job. And I don't know what happened to Margelle. No. I didn't leave the job. Yeah, I did. Margelle was still there. That's another long story I'm going to tell you about. But she never took care of herself. She wanted money for her funeral. She didn't talk about old age. That last leg of her life, she didn't participate in it. She worked 3 jobs to save up so she could have a banging funeral. And she said leave something for the kids and stuff. She never even acknowledged her age or anything. So Margelle never did recreational events with me. When I moved from doing vocational work into recreational, we used to have to get volunteers and basically the staff and stuff. Not Margelle. When you do activities, you're going to want somebody to stay awake. And not Margelle. She worked, slept, baked stuff for us. Great bake. She can bake her butter. Better than sex cake I got from Margelle. I never thought there was a thing. Better than sex cake. She can make a banana pudding that puts you under. that could put you under. Marjo. All she was preparing for. Now, she didn't go get her CL whatever license. She didn't apply to work at a trucking company like that, but you know, women, so. Now they let us in, but back then. Other than that, a body she didn't take care of in life, she wanted to be put down in the ground with, she talk about her dress. She had a designer dress. She's gonna pay. She was like, you don't even got to send no flowers on. She gonna have flowers all over. I mean, she used to talk to me about it. She planned it all out. And if we went to the park, to take the clients to the park for lunch, just to chill out, a little something different, Marjo wouldn't move from out the van. She would sleep. And everyone else would have to take her, because that's the time she slept. Well, that's the time her body said, no, you gotta rest. Oh yeah, she had a pocketbook full of pills. I think she, at that time I was in my 40s, I think she triggered my, I don't want to be like that. I don't want that to be like that. I don't want my life to be like that. I don't want to have a separate pocketbook for medication. I don't want that. I don't want that. I'm not pricking my finger. I'm not pricking my finger. Nope. I'm not getting my titties smashed in that smash grinder thing. I'm not doing it. Nope. Nope. Other than sex, I ain't opening my legs to nobody no more. Nope. Nope. You ain't cutting out my coochie, my womb, nothing else like that. Nope. Don't touch my daughter. It's a gland. It works perfectly. Trust and believe. I'm standing here, talking to you right now. It works perfectly. And I saved myself. And Marjo never missed a doctor's appointment. Never missed one. Never missed one. Knew those pills like the back of her hand. Can shake them in there. Knew this her whole little bag. I would just sit there. I don't understand. She used to say the funniest thing. She used to say, we're going to go to this place and get this yogurt, this sugar-free yogurt, because it tastes good and it don't put much weight on you. So I'm like, okay. So we go and I get my little corn, my little coin, you know, corn, I can't even say it. Ice cream cone, give her a little cone. And with the yogurt, a little bit. And Marjo would get this waffle. This huge waffle filled with all this yogurt. And she would look at me and she said, but it's all sugar-free. And it's yogurt, so it doesn't have fat in it. And I was looking at her, I was like, as big as that damn thing is, it's impossible not to put weight on you. I think they meant if you take it in small servings, it doesn't put weight on you. But when you're shoving it down, but she had her pills. You know, she had her different pills. And her pills would, you know, take care of it. Didn't drink no water or nothing. But I guess some people's body is like that. But the point I was trying to make is she wanted her body to be taken well care of when it's dead, when it's no more. She wanted her hair done, she wanted her nails done, she wanted clothes done. But she wouldn't walk a block so her lungs could take in oxygen. She wouldn't move her butt so she can shit out half that stuff that she put in. She worked all the time, and I used to wonder, when did you get a chance to really sit down and excavate, or as they say, BM? She didn't. She was huge. And that ass was huge. But she loved her body, especially when it's dead. She did nothing to take care of it other than pop pills and go to the doctors. And go to church. Because she used to say, don't worry, God will heal me. Jesus got me. I said, okay. Because the gym don't. Exercise don't got you. The most she exercised is signing them on the back of those 3 checks from them 3 separate jobs. Hey, this is our water break, y'all. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just walking, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just walking, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just walking, I'm walking. Hey y'all, hey y'all. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. I'm starting to sweat already. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the yes. Okay. Hold on, I'm coming. Yes! Not like that though. Here we go. Let's finish up this walk. I thank you for coming on a walk with me. I thank you for your likes. I thank you for your comments. I thank you for your shares. Regardless to what Facebook says, I'm not going to put y'all on the spot for coming on the air with me. I've seen people do it, but I did a whole show and Anyway, I ain't gonna finish that thought. So, now I'm back to thinking again this morning. I'm thinking about a post I put up on Facebook. I put the marches from the March on Washington, that 2 years after that, the Democratic Party secured our right to vote. Yeah, I want to make that clear. The Constitution of the United States of America gave the right to vote to all born within and those who become citizens. But individual states were able to put in laws like black code law, Jim Crow law, that said you can't vote. You can't have representation in government. It was the states. So the Voting Rights Act is the government saying, no, state, you can't say that. The Constitution said all who born here have a right to vote. And you're going to let them vote in your state. If not, we're going to come down there and deal with you. That's what the Voting Rights Act was. The Constitution gave us the right to vote. Basically, all the children born from that first slave ship over 600 years ago, that first group that was born free. But there was no one to make it. We were on compounds and in encampments. So when I put that picture about the March on Washington, I said, you tell your ancestors, if you don't go and vote to protect the Constitution and your right to vote, because they close the polls as I'm walking on this treadmill, then how you going to tell your ancestors that got the vote for us that it took you 70-something years, right? 65, 75, 85, 95, 2005, 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 57 years. Well, yeah, because the vote is November. That's the vote, whether you're going to have a voting right or not, a right to vote or not. As I said, I'm voting Democrat, because they secured our right to vote. The Constitution gave us a right to vote, but the individual states put up black code laws and Jim Crow laws and said you cannot vote. The Voting Rights Act was the government saying, no, the Constitution said all born here can vote unless they have blah, 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 blah. But it's a birthright. So the government has to come in and force the states to give us our birthright guaranteed under the Constitution of the United States. Now, to get the government to do that, that was part of the March on Washington, to vote against housing discrimination, against job discrimination, because states had it so, don't hire black people. You didn't work in government and state jobs. You didn't get them. You didn't get them. You had to go to the federal government and say, hi, These cults and racist people. The cults say I'm a devil, so I shouldn't be able to get a job and work in the city because they don't want their devils running around town. And the other one said they can't hire me because all the blacks is taking over. So the government had to say, nah, if we give you money, nah, you're hiring them. Or we're going to take all the money we give you back. And it's so funny because they scream less government. But if you want less government, why do you keep doing such fuck shit? I don't want the government in my town. But I'm going to hang all the black people I can. The government coming, bitch. There's too much government in my home. Well, if you in your home planning shit against other people, they supposed to be in your goddamn home. Running around doing fuck shit to people. Just because of the color of their skin or just because they're a woman. But you want less government. Make it make sense. I've always wanted no police in my life. Guess what? I didn't involve police in my life. You get it? You don't want government. I don't want government in my state. I don't want. Well, you know what? Maybe if you stop doing fuck shit, the government wouldn't have to be there. Allowing your residents to be ripped off by con people. Take South Carolina, for example. That is a less government state. A good old boy state. They've always been able to do whatever they want to do. A capital murder. And per capita, they done killed more of us than them, and it's more of them than us. Because they killed us off a long time ago. Especially in Charleston, the state of South Carolina, we were becoming the majority. And without government intervention, they started killing, burning, killing, literally running us out of South Carolina. It's too many. Now, how you say is it too many? They brought them over. And then when they ran them out of Jamaica, the Jamaican planters ran to South Carolina. That's how they got there. And Georgia. And down to Florida. But you want less government. But you doing all that crazy shit. And as I said, I ran out of South Carolina like my ass was on fire. And from what I heard about my cousin Annette, she wasn't too far behind me. No. You know, my cousin Joni was behind her. And for all I know, everybody else stayed, but it was comfortable for them. They had to do nothing. You ain't want to go to school, you ain't go to school. They didn't care as long as you went to church on Sunday. You want to screw around and have your kids called bastards? Go ahead. You pay your tithes and bring your bastard to church. And don't nobody care. You just go to church. Don't have no dreams, ambitions, and nothing like that. But life's going down in South Carolina. The good old party. One family ruled for over 100 years. Now don't you understand the Republican Party? For 100 years, they were the prosecutors. They said who go to jail, who stay out of jail. And this is old America. The Constitution is right there saying, excuse me, that shit ain't like that. You ain't supposed to be doing that. Right now, South Carolina, a Democratic senator who is a lawyer is defending a man accused of stealing millions from crippled children, crippled adults, killing adults. He's accused of it. I'm not saying allegedly. He is accused of it. He's sitting in jail right now. And you know what? There's nothing that's going to happen to him. First of all, he took from the poor and blacks. So those cases are going to be dismissed. Because that's the good old boy rule. They go for family been in that government for 100 years. They got owed. A lot of them politicians, a lot of them jurists, a lot of them judges owe the Murdoch family. They're not going to try the Murdoch family's son. They're not going to put him in jail. It's not going to happen. That's South Carolina. Now, if someone came and said, we did a little DNA on him, and we thought he was Scott-Irish, but we found a little African in him, they would drag him out of that jail. Pieces would be coming off him the way they would drag him down the street. They would rope him up. They wouldn't even set a fire. They would just blowtorch him. But he has no African blood in his veins. So, and he's old. Isn't it something when the whole state owns you? When a senator, a Republican senator, owes the family so much. Not a Republican senator, sorry. A Democratic senator. Now I'll put this right there. A Democrat conservative and a Republican are the same thing. So this Democratic senator out of South Carolina is representing a reprehensible human being accused of murder. I think they call it familicide when you kill your family. Now that's the alleged, but he's in jail. And they talking about it. He has a sitting state senator. A Democratic state senator working on his case. You talk about power. You talk about power. He don't got no Johnny Cochran or Kardashian lawyer. No. No, he got a good old boy. Good old party. Call himself a Democrat, but a conservative Democrat is a Republican. Vote him out. He is representing this guy. Because the first person that he took from was an African American family who was crippled in an accident. Stole all their money. And that's why you can get a Democratic state senator to represent you, because that ain't bad. It's just black people. Well, so let's he didn't stop there. He didn't stop there. He's alleged telephone whore trash that used to work for him. They didn't even know the woman's name. The woman worked there for 20 years. They talked to her like, I thought, I want to tell you again, at first, I thought she was an African American. The way he was talking on that telephone, I don't know. I remember when the podcaster said she had worked for them for 20 years. I was like, get out of here. I thought they just hired her yesterday. They ain't know nothing about the woman. Except that they could kill her, allegedly. They could kill her and get all her money from him suing himself. That's politics in South Carolina. And guess what? A Democratic state senator is representing him. Now, when election time come up, whatever young person, Democratic, Green Party, that goes against him, throwing my money there. Let's get rid of that Republican and Democratic clothing. Let's get rid of them. Let's vote them out. And then he's alleged to kill his son and wife. And he's being represented by a sitting Republican, Democratic, conservative lawyer who is now, ain't they doing January 6th stuff? But that lets you know they don't care. That law ain't for them. That's a good old party. He ain't gonna be in Congress worried about that. He gotta save this alleged murderer, alleged swindler, alleged conman, alleged thief, alleged familiar side person. So, you tell them, when you can't get out there and make everybody you know get out there and vote, because you see what you have in front of you, I use that example from South Carolina to show you. Show your might, y'all. And let's keep the vote, and we can go from there. To make sure this threat stops coming up. To make sure future generations don't go through this. Let's be the generation. Our parents marched on Washington and gave everything, died, bite, water, so everything for us to get the vote. Let us be the generation, you know, those who left, those who crack didn't take out, those who AIDS didn't take out, those who crack didn't take out, those who COVID didn't take out. Who's ever left? We got to be the generation that makes sure that the future generation don't have to worry about the threat of the right to vote being taken away from them. We need to be that generation. That girl. Not that hoe over there. That girl. Whew. Yes. So that's what I mean when you're going to explain it to them. I've always been vigilant. I've stood on polling lines. I've knocked on doors. I've given panel discussions about the sunrise of the vote. I have stayed vigilant. and I know when to call the alarm. And I'm saying ancestors. And I forgot the point that I wanted to tell y'all, that every, what is it? Ooh, how does that thing go? They say every skin folk ain't kinfolk. Okay? Now we call Black Americans by a lot of cultures that people look at and say instantly, oh, that's African Americans. No, they call us Black Americans. And they know what they've been told. They know when they was in their country, how they was getting stuff on the TV. Black Americans are lazy, Black Americans are stupid, Black Americans are dumb. They don't do nothing, they're blah, blah, blah. I remember when my son-in-law came, and he couldn't wait to tell me, though he was married to my daughter who was helping him get his stuff together, and he was so happy, but he couldn't wait to tell me how low-life that African Americans were. Hell, I married a man from West Africa. He used to say, stupid Americans. And then he'd say, Naka. These Nakas. And I would ask him, what? You don't work, you don't do nothing. And I said, how do you know that? You just like barely in this country. And he said he knew it from TV and newspapers. They got all the way to this country to say we're low life. And I remember I was talking to Penn, and she said, Vicki, we may have to run out the country. And I said, Penn, where am I going to go? Everywhere I go, as an African American, thanks to these low lives, races here, I'm known as a thief, a whore, a liar, a dummy. They don't think we built anything. They didn't, according to them, and for years, because I was a child, I know we never did anything in this country for this country. Let's do this 10 right fast. Tuck in your elbow. Not up, no down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good luck. So all skin folk and kinfolk. There's a lot of first, second generation Americans that are African origin that are not going to vote to support the vote. Just not going to do it. Because they think they may help African Americans, and they ain't going to do it. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 1 for good luck. Because only the white Americans came to their village to help them, not the Black Americans. So that's why I'm calling the ancestors. That's why I'm calling the ancestors. This is a large kinfolk that ain't kinfolk. And those missionary folks that came over and helped them was white. They don't know they ain't let us leave the country and we couldn't get their job. They don't know. All they know is that's who was there for them. So that's why I invoke the ancestors for help. We cannot lose the vote. No, 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 no. Whew. So I just wanted to explain that post. And I just want you to know, all skin folk ain't kinfolk, and they're not going to vote to save I'll vote because it doesn't mean the same to them as for us. They don't know Jim Crow. They just know the nice white missionaries that came over to help them. They gave them clothes, they gave them food, and the black Americans didn't do that. So to expect them to vote in our favor for us, really foolish. But let's invoke the ancestors because they know. Mary McLeod Bethune, no. Frederick Douglass, no. Sojourner Truth, no. Ida B. Wells, no. Rap Brown, no. Bobby Seale, no. Malcolm X, no. Martin Luther King, no. Ralph Abernathy, no. Go on and on and on. And that's why I invoke the energy of the ancestors to help us with this fight. Oh, I didn't show y'all. Here we go. So that's why we as African Americans, y'all gotta go out and vote. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. And they ain't voting for our favor. They're voting in the favor of that missionary that came and brought them food. That missionary that came and brought them bread. And that missionary was white. And if you put yourself in their position, you can understand how they vote. So as African Americans, we got to get out there and vote. And we have to invoke the energy of the ancestors who know. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. African Americans, you raise your kid knowing I had a real angry father. And a grandmother, just from racism in the South first. And when he had to stand up after getting out of service on that bus from after Washington to Charleston, South Carolina, Mad Max got off that bus. Whew, standing up all them hours after dodging bullets for your country and stand up in the bus in your country. That's why he voted. That's why I vote. We ain't never want that again. But everybody don't know that, African Americans. They know about those missionaries, white missionaries that came and helped them, brought medicine to their family. Brought medicine to their family when they didn't have none. So if they got over here to America and became a United States citizen, they is not voting in favor of African Americans. They're voting in favor of that missionary. So African Americans, we have to vote. Remember our ancestors. Show some homage. As I say, show some respect. So when you see them, you just can't count them in the numbers. But now you understand why. Make sure all your family vote. You should make sure your whole family know African American history. And they should have been in that voting thing with you from when they was whole arm babies. Okay? My daughter went with me voting when her stroller was behind me. And then when she was able to stand and we went to vote, she was standing holding my leg behind the curtain with me. And she grew up with me behind that curtain voting. But all skin folk Ain't kinfolk African American. Y'all know. Y'all know the history. Your grandparents, your great grandparents. I guess to some of these millennium, I'll be what, like a grandmother, great grandmother. I remember it. But all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Folks our color, they remember the white missionaries and white nuns coming through, helping them. Helping them. And they remember black Americans ain't never did nothing for them. That's the way they look at it. So when you think that nobody ever did nothing for you, you don't do nothing for them. So all skin folk ain't kinfolk. African American. If you ain't got the guts to do it, invoke your ancestors. Invoke the energy and the power of your ancestors. I had to go a little slow because this morning when I was drinking my water, it went down the wrong tube and I was like, oh, I don't want to do that on camera. I don't want to do that on camera. That's it, y'all. That's it. Thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share, tell a friend, tell a friend. I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.